Greetings, viewers. This is CP666 signing on for, yes, another face video where I'm wearing this stupid shirt. It just so happens that every time I make a video with my face in it, I'm always wearing this shirt. But anyway, this is not so much an update video, but more of like an FAQ, correction, amplification, clarification video for the Sony Handycam C3123 repair video that I uploaded last year that's centered around, conveniently enough, this camera that's sitting right here. Normally when I upload videos, they're not very popular, it's like maybe 20, 30, 40, if I get lucky 100 people watch it, but this video has exploded to almost 60,000 people have watched it, and understandably when a video gets popular like that, it attracts a lot of comments, and there are a lot of questions, being as it's a repair video, from people who either don't really understand how the thing works, or people who are just asking for help. I'm going to have to clarify what the repair video is actually about, because there's a lot of comments that I get from people that are saying, I have this camera model, it's got this problem, please help me. Or, alternatively, I have a camera that's giving me the C3123 error, but I don't have this issue. Please help me. And I can understand the desire, the desperation to get information to repair something, but asking for advice in the wrong place is not going to help you get that repair information any faster, because the video is very specific. This is a C3123 white lock pin error fix. And what that means is as follows. We're going to have a look inside the tape mechanism of the camera in question. And the thing that we are most interested in is this right here. See this black thing? This is called the pinch roller. And inside it, you might be able to see there is a little white piece. This is known as the white lock pin. And what tends to happen is that white lock pin will crack, or it will deform in some way. It will get loose, it will fall out, and then the pinch roller that it is securing will also get loose, and it will fall out. And this is where the error in question originates from, because now it's not providing enough pressure to the tape, and of course the camcorder assumes the worst and shuts down and gives you an error message. Now it is important to note that a C3123 error message is not the cause, it is the symptom. There could be other reasons why you've got a C3123 error message. It's usually related to tape tension. Likewise, you may look at it and you may not be able to tell that the white lock pin is damaged in any way because it's so small, and it's, because it's so small and it's buried underneath a roller, you might not necessarily be able to see it. So you might look at it and say, well, there's nothing really wrong with this. What's up, Doc? I can't use my camera. My advice in that case is to play around with the roller, try and move it up and down. You may find that it's loose, and if it's loose, you're going to have to replace that white lock pin. But getting back to my spiel, the whole point of this video is on solving the white lock pin problem. Coming to me with, can you help me fix X camera model, I can't play back my tapes, I'm not going to be able to help you with that. Likewise, coming to me and saying, well, my pin is in place and my roller is in place, fix my problem for me, I also kind of can't help you with that one. Because it's not the same problem that I am solving, and it's not the same problem that I've got sitting in front of me. And really, the thing about cameras is that you can't really solve these problems unless you have the camera sitting in front of you and you can see what it does and doesn't do. I'm not a camera repairman. I don't operate a camera repair service. And frankly, paying for the shipping to deal with all of these different cameras that I get questions about is going to be ridiculous. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be way more expensive than the camera's worth. So, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to look elsewhere for your problem solutions, because it's not going to be useful for you. However, with respect to the white lock pin and some of the common questions that I get, I mentioned that if it looks like it's okay, play around with it a little bit. and you might end up finding that it's not. One other possible thing that is worth looking into if the roller and white lock pin is not the problem, check your tape, because like I said, it's usually related to a tape tension problem. Either the tape is too tight, i.e. it's stuck, or it's too loose, it's stretched. More serious problems could be that the roller, the post that the roller is on could be bent. That's a possibility, I've seen that before. The other thing that I commonly get on my video is the complaint, and some people are actually pretty rude about it. This video showed me nothing about how to fix my camera because the roller was in a different place, and quite frankly I think that these are ridiculous comments because I don't understand how you can expect every last camcorder to have the exact same tape mechanism. Naturally it would stand to reason that if you've got a camera that's smaller than the camera that I'm holding in my hand, it's probably going to be designed a little bit differently. I mean, let's face it, that's just kind of the basic facts here. But I guess in an effort to try and minimize this, I'll state that this video really only applies to 8mm Sony Handycams. Other cameras, mini DV cameras, cameras from different manufacturers, will be similar, but the mechanism will look different. The layout, you know, where you put your roller, where you put the white lock pin, what size of whatever you need, it only applies to these 8mm, the Video 8, the High 8, and in this case, Digital 8 cameras from Sony. Outside of that, you're on your own. Another really common question I get is, what size pinch roller do I need, or what's the model number of the pinch roller that I need if I happen to have to replace the pinch roller? Unfortunately, I don't know. And you used to be able to buy these pinch rollers on eBay for, you know, relatively cheap. I mean, I can't call it cheap because I think it was like somewhere between $20 and $30, which is not cheap in the grand scheme of things. But you can't buy them anymore. They're no longer available. So, unfortunately, the solution for you, if you happen to need the roller, the little black thing, the pinch roller, if you need that, you're going to have to buy another whole camera. Now, fortunately, you can find whole cameras for, you know, reasonably cheap prices that are broken, and you could just pull the part you need off of it. Maybe you could even get away with reselling whatever's left, too, and make up some of your money that you've invested in it. But you can't buy these pinch rollers. And the white lock pins, I believe, are available on eBay, but I would advise against paying eBay prices for a white lock pin because they're kind of ridiculously outrageous. All you need is this. One of these. This is an ink pen tube. It's going to take some trial and error with this because not all ink pen tubes are the same size. But most of them are, you know, reasonably close, and you can just get away with, you know, cutting off a reasonable amount of this. I think it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about like there. Something like that. I don't know. I would always cut a little bit more than what you need and do test fits and cut off some as you see fit, because it's very easy to make it smaller. It's kind of impossible to make it bigger. So it'll take some trial and error, but this is the solution to your problem if you happen to have a missing or broken white lock pin, but your roller is there. If you're missing the roller, you're going to have to find a whole nother camera. It doesn't need to be the same model. Like I said earlier, these apply to almost all of the 8mm Sony Handycams, and the mini DV ones are for the most part compatible with each other as well. But you probably don't want to buy a mini DV camera and use it as parts for an 8mm camera or vice versa, because it probably won't work that well. Another common question that I get, how do I eject the tape if it won't eject? And this is an interesting one because, again, there could be any number of reasons why the tape won't eject, most of which are completely unrelated to the C3123 error in the first place. One option that you've got is turn the camera off, pull the battery, put the battery back in, do not turn the camera on, and try and eject it that way. If the camera is not on, it should at least try and eject. It's not going to try and read the tape first and then give an error message. If your tape is stuck, that's going to be a bigger problem. There is a method specified in the Sony service literature for these cameras that is probably about the only real way that I can think of to do this if you can't eject it in any other way. And that is to disassemble the camera completely, well, maybe not completely, but just far enough to where you can actually see the motor and disconnect the motor from everything else. Find a 5-volt DC power source and operate the motor from that 5-volt DC power source until the tape basket pops up. I would not recommend that method for the faint of heart because that has the potential to be very dangerous, especially if you happen to use a power source that's more than 5 volts. You can burn out the motor permanently. So really, I think the best method to use would be to just, pull the battery out, turn the camera off, put it back in, and before the camera, don't turn it on, leave this in the off position, and then hit the eject button. And it should at least try and eject then. You may have to play with the basket a little bit. I've had some luck in the past taking something that's not sharp or anything like that, but taking something and putting it into the basket and just wiggling back and forth and pulling out. Sometimes that can work as well, although that also has the very real possibility of damaging something permanently. So again, I wouldn't try that unless you really want your tape back and you don't care about the camera that you're trying to get the tape out of. Another common repair method that might work if you're having issues ejecting your tape is the so-called Wacko method. And that is you take the camera and you hit it off of something or you slap it really hard. That might jar something that was loose back into place for just long enough for you to be able to eject your tape and, get it all cleared out and all of that. It's not a permanent fix, and you might end up doing a lot more damage to the camera by doing that, but if you don't really care about the camera, you just want your tape back, that's also something that is worth trying. I think that's pretty much it for the frequently asked questions. Most of the time when I get a comment on this video, it's, I've got this model camera, it's got this problem, help me fix it. And unfortunately, I'm just going to tell you that I can't really do that because, like I said, unless I've got it sitting in front of me, it's kind of hard to know what the camera does and doesn't do. And I'm not going to sit here for the, several thousand people that want me to fix their camera to ship them in here, take a look at them, and then ship them back out. That would be frightfully expensive and very time-consuming, with time that I frankly don't have, and space that I also frankly don't have. You're going to have to look elsewhere if you've got an issue with your camera that's not fixable with the white lock pin fix. The other thing that I get a lot, people with foreign languages posting comments, and I get it, I can translate most of these. But I've had people also, get upset because the video is in a different language. And I mean, I don't really understand this mentality either. Why would you actively seek out a video that's not in your native tongue and then get upset because I don't speak the language that you speak? It's beyond me. I really don't understand that. I also really don't understand why you can't take a moment to realize, hey, this dude is English speaking. Let's translate our question into English so he doesn't have to, go translate it and use the bungling that the translator gives, to try and figure out what you're trying to tell me. I'm not asking people to be masters of the English language because I'm not. Nobody is. But I am kind of asking that you at least make an effort. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you've got any further questions or comments, leave them down below. But this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you on the next video. Till then.